Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Brandverse Podcast. I'm your host, Arab, along with my co-host, Edwin. And today we have on a man from behind the scenes, used to be in front of the scenes. Many of you might know him. He's very active on Twitter in the community. His name is Grady Rains from NRG Gaming. Mr. Executive Producer, it's nice to have you here.
Hey, thanks for having me, boys. Excited to. I'm bummed. I missed episode 69. I think by one.
Yeah, you did.
Big miss, but
That's funny.
We actually recorded like fucking 4 yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So don't worry, you didn't miss it by one. If that makes you feel better, you might possibly be 73. Depends when I feel like giving you a platform.
Perfect.
Damn.
Yeah. So
Whoa. That's some true shit.
So for anyone that doesn't know what Grady does, he runs all of NRG's content basically, right? It's not just Fortnite. You're running everything now.
Yeah. So I run everything that comes out with the NRG logo on it on any channel. Pretty much has to pass through my hands, and I give the old thumbs up or thumbs down. And yeah, it's crazy, man. It's a lot of work, but really fun.
Have I known you for 2 years? Almost now? Like a year and 8 months, right?
Well, you brought up when we were Twitter DMing, and fuck, I forget what that was about, but I just remember sending you like some sort of like, you were like, you got to go vegan or something like that, or I forget exactly what we were talking about, but that was, like a year and a half, 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
Or 2 years ago.
He's like, I remember.
That's specific. Yeah. I was like, damn, bro.
Wait,
fuck.
was that when I made the video with the chicken minis? Was that the
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
That wasn't last year because last year was quarantine. So oh my god, we go. It was when you had first joined NRG. You were still making your own skits. You don't make those anymore.
No, I'm retired from the Instagram influencer game.
But those were going viral. They were doing so well. How do you, as a creator who loves to make stuff, go from, building your personal brand and being like, okay, I'm gonna give this up to build this company? How does that? Because I don't think I could ever give up my personal brand as well. Like the company that we're building, we're still the front faces of, and our content is still the front faces. So how can you drop that? Like, I guess that process.
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't think I ever thought I was going to. I think when I joined NRG, I was like excited to be like, all right, I'm going to do both things here. And I'm going to do my personal brand. I'll be able to build my personal brand while I do NRG. And I think NRG eventually just started like taking the front seat a little more and more and more and more. My time was gone. And there's a lot of hours in the day that you can work, but there's not a lot of hours in the day where I feel like you can be creative. And you guys probably know that better than anyone. It's like you could probably set up 15 podcasts today time-wise, but 7 of them you're just going to be like creatively exhausted and like not really have the ideas for.
You'd be droning,
Yeah, so it was like I started putting all my best ideas into NRG, which is awesome. And I think with the Instagram stuff, like it was crazy, bro. When I stopped, or when I joined NRG, I think I was growing 30,000 followers a week on Instagram.
You were booming.
It was crazy.
Was it just skits, or like what'd you do?
Skits. So admittedly, it was like, so back then, if you were on Instagram, it was a really trashy game back then. It was like the people who were popping off were like, that was back in the day. I'm not sure if you ever saw like the kiss or slap, and like they would be like doing all that stuff where like guys would be like running around the mall and they'd be asking girls to like kiss or slap them, and that was
oh my god,
we were
just talking about that yesterday with Prank Invasion and like the mommy makeout shit. Do you remember that shit?
Yeah. So it was that era of Instagram, and like the people who were popping off were like long neck, wide neck. Patty,
oh, dude, you know what's crazy? Somebody we're having on the podcast later. He actually just challenged Supreme Patty to a boxing match like yesterday.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
that's cool. But yeah, so that's what was like. It was like if you could get on World Star doing the trashiest stuff possible, that's how you got on.
Damn.
And so I had moved out to LA and I was like, dude, I'm not going home and I'm just gonna fucking play this game. So a lot of the stuff that I felt like I made, it was like, all right, I can't be.
For your skits?
Yeah. Well,
You were
like,
hitting
no,
the
like,
prank, you
I
were
mean,
hitting the
even with the
mommy
Fortnite
makeouts?
skits. No. I was never doing that. But like, I'd be like dressed up like Tekashi 6ix9ine doing a Fortnite rap. Like, all right, I only got so many more years of this. You know, like I'm like, this really isn't me, but
Bro,
like, this is what wins.
Nah, see the problem is, man, I think being a creative, you have your own creative like needs, if that makes sense, like of the type of content or product you make. And I feel like when you have to go too far from that, it's not you anymore. It's not why you did it in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
So I think there was a bit of that where I really was looking for something to kind of save me from making. I wanted to get back on track into making things I was really proud of, and I had kind of gone a little away from that. And I actually didn't really understand how the gaming community worked. I didn't know how all these people existed. I think I had like a 200 viewer stream one time, and I was like, fuck, man, I'm never going to make it. And like, I didn't realize that, like, dude, 200 viewer stream, like, that's awesome.
On Twitch, that's crazy.
Yeah, like, that would have been, and I had just started.
In my opinion, the 200 viewers is the hardest to get past.
Yeah. I think 200 viewers is right when you start like really like doing well. You know what I'm saying?
Because for my like scenario, that's where I was at the 150, 200 range for a decent amount of time, and then not much movement, up, down, whatever, and then like that's when I created Inside the Mine and everything started popping, and then it boomed, and then so it's like 200 viewers, in my opinion, is where you have to figure something out, and then it starts skyrocketing.
Yeah.
That's crazy that you were at that, and you had no idea really what gaming was.
Dude, he was brand new. He didn't know that that's fire. That's so good. That's crazy.
I was like, dude, I'm never gonna get to 50,000. That's like, I was like, I'm never gonna get to like Ninja's at 200,000. I was like, I remember googling like how many viewers do you need to make stream full time. I just had no idea how it worked. But yeah, man. So switched over to NRG, and I thought I could kind of keep both going, and then it kind of just started going more energy. I'm definitely still passionate about it, and like every day I wake up and I'm like, damn, man, I wish I want to try to find something that I can start making on my own again. But I don't necessarily want to go back to just doing like Instagram skits anymore. I thought about maybe doing TikTok or something, but I get to be I get to be in a lot of the NRG videos, and I get to host a lot of those for like the Fortnite, and especially with the castle. So that is that scratches a lot of itches. But yeah, man, I mean, I definitely think in this next year, in 2022, I want to get back on the horse and figure out a way to start creating on my own again.
You're a good character in those. I think people love you.
I'm kind of like Toby from The Office. She just gets shit on, you know.
I've honestly never seen one. So like, give me an example of like one that you thought was really creative, like a premise. You get what I'm saying?
Instagram skit.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about I was a good character in the NRG Fortnite videos. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. No, I'm different thought.
Ah, man, one of my good Instagram skits was probably it was like when you walk in on your son and you find out he's using a mech or something like that.
That's really good. That's a good one, bro.
You catch your friend and he's actually like a bot, and I'm like fucking plugged into the wall or something like that.
Did you ever upload those to Twitter?
I started, so I've gone in waves, and there's a period where I was uploading videos to Twitter, and then it's kind of how I got like my first 10K followers, and they were getting retweeted a lot. It was actually more about Warzone back then, though. I was like gonna kind of transition into Warzone, but I just never kept it up. But yeah, some of them I'd post on Twitter, they go viral, but not in the early days. In the early days, I just was grinding Instagram. I would post like once every 2 days on Instagram.
I remember one specific one that was about how big the updates were.
Yeah, that was the Warzone one.
That one boomed, didn't it?
Yeah, that one boomed. And then I had one recently that I made about like the comms and the gulag, and Sports Center retweeted it, or like Sports Center reposted it, and my like mom
when something like
called me.
Sports Center retweets it, do those bang? Like, is there retweet reach huge?
They have to, dude.
Yeah, for sure. It all depends. Like it's not like they choose what they want to post, obviously, because it's gonna perform well over there. But yeah, when they do it and it's like general enough, they'll test it out on their like gaming accounts first. And then so it did well on their gaming accounts, and then they're like, all right, let's put it on the main page. And that was back when Warzone had just started like booming.
Yeah.
It was middle of quarantine.
Mainstream.
So I never really took time to grow my Twitter. Like I've been on like the YouTube game-ish for like a while, since like 2016, but now I'm like trying to grow my Twitter, and I think I figured out a formula. The formula is
it make friends with teenage Fortnite pros?
It's made for like your audience basically, but yeah, I guess it's basically if you think about something and you tweet it and you think people will say to themselves, true shit, you know what I'm saying, something like relatable, that's like almost like an abstract thought that everyone has to have, if that makes sense. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I tweeted something yesterday that boomed because it was like within the community, like really contextual. It was Fortnite Pros cracked me up because it's the only place I've ever heard people 18 years old calling themselves boomers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah,
I feel that.
So that one did really well because it's like relatable. It's like community contextually correct, if that makes sense. Like your Warzone shit like blew up because it was within the Warzone community, you know?
Yeah, you always want to be targeting communities. Like you always want to be like, you never just want to try to go generally viral. Because even if you do that, people do that every day and they don't gain followers.
Yeah. Correct.
And Grady's, I mean, you say boomer. Grady's like 38 years old, so when he hears that,
he's pushing 42. I'm 28, or no, I'm 27, turning 28.
Nice, my man.
Yeah.
Grady, so like you took over this role, NRG, slowly you started getting pushed out. What does that role entail as executive producer? Like, what's your daily life look like when you wake up, you creating ideas, etc.?
So I'll wake up around like 8 a.m. and I'll have meetings about. First I'll wake up and then I'll probably like plan out the day like content wise.
Go on the best podcast, yeah.
Exactly. So I wake up, hop on the best podcast available to me, and then I will like just kind of like think of a bunch of ideas for the day, whatever. I'll connect with like our social team, which is like Drew and Beehive. So I hired those guys to help me out, like run all the Twitter accounts.
Yeah,
and Instagram
I was gonna
accounts.
hop on that. Since you're on it, let's just. Why'd you hire Beehive? How were you able to get him to stop posting all that on his stuff and then post your stuff?
So,
and for a Twitter creator like him, who's uploading, once every 2 days or once a day of these massive projects, you don't have. I'm not asking you to dive into his full salary, but is that a full-time thing? Is it a part-time thing? Because I'm sure many people want to know. How the fuck are you a full-time tweeter?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's definitely different. And Andy Miller actually like was super on board with it, and he was kind of like pushing me to find someone like Beehive to help us out.
That's the CEO of NRG, if anyone's listening.
Yeah, CEO of NRG, and I think that it's funny to think about because it's like like we called him the executive tweeter, which seemed like a meme, but dude, like. Twitter, putting up good content on Twitter is so important for your brand, and having people that understand the community. Like, we gained a lot by signing Clicks and Ronaldo, right? And Benji and all the guys we signed. But it's almost like you have this huge weapon in your back pocket and no one really knows how to use it. And so when we brought on Beehive, it was like he knew exactly how to use those weapons to grow our social. And it was like hiring like the best driver of the sports cars that we had. And so his role it's full time, and his role it's full time. But also it's like a very talent centric role. And I think the reason he's excited about it is because it's hard to go from being to being full-time on Twitter to like making like a full-time career out of it. I know he was thinking about streaming at one point. I don't want to speak too much for him, but he just likes doing what he does. And so when we had the opportunity,
B will never stream.
Yeah, and so when I was like, dude, just keep doing what you're doing, we'll pay you for it, and you'll be super valued at NRG, and like we can work together. I mean, I'm trying to fly him out to LA at some point, so we can do more stuff out here. But yeah, I mean, it was one of the best decisions we made at NRG, is bringing on someone who just knows the community super authentically and can create that stuff about our guys. And then if anything, sometimes he'll send me stuff and like if anything's too over the top, and I think sometimes maybe he'll make things a little too over the top, so that way I'm like, just post it on your own account, bro. You know? But typically he's like, yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good at just like giving us stuff to tweet about, and he keeps me honest.
Is that per tweet or is it hourly?
No, he's like nice, like salaried, I would say. He gets like a flat monthly fee, so he's comfortable.
I was just wondering like how Twitter, because he doesn't even run the whole account. He's not a social media manager. He hands you videos and goes, here you go. Here's another tweet.
He's literally a professional meme maker. That's awesome.
It's so sick.
Yeah,
dude, you know what's crazy? Sometimes people like will come into like our chats or like in our comment sections and they'll be like, get a real fucking job, get a real job. But it's like, dude, like, it's funny how many little jobs like this industry creates where like he's a professional meme maker. Like that's crazy,
And it's so important. And so many
I know.
So many orgs would like, so many orgs have looked at that and been like, I guarantee I've been like, yo, we got to do this now. Like, do you see like when Beehive puts up a post and it's like 20K and then everyone's like, Beehive banger, Beehive banger, Beehive banger. It's like this cool thing.
Dude, that analogy of your best race car driver driving your the best car you have was excellent. That's
thanks, man.
It immediately clicked. I was like, he's so right. Everyone needs to do that for sure.
Yeah. B's cool and all, but sometimes I gotta put him in his place. He responds to me when I post my impressions, and he goes, "I got half your monthly impressions in one tweet," and I just gotta let him know. I just gotta let him know that he's not verified, and not even NRG can get him verified, so he's gotta stay in his place.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. It's true.
You said, did he really? Yeah, of course. Some of his tweets get like 800K views. Like, that's probably easily 10 million impressions,
He had the one where he had Logan and Mayweather kissing each other, and it got like 300,000 likes.
I don't even think Logan Paul blocked him. I think it was his team.
Yeah, no, I don't think he blocked him.
Yeah, I'm sure. No, he did block him, I think, right? Like,
I'm not sure.
It's probably another meme. Damn.
Oh, it's probably another meme, and he's out here.
I can neither confirm it nor deny.
He's good, bro. I do see his shit sometimes. What a guy. He reminds me of Cuds. You know Cuds on FaZe, or I don't know if he's still on FaZe. He's just like they're like similarly skilled designers, but they don't utilize him like you guys utilize him.
Yeah, Cuds is more photo. Cuds is like Beehive of photo.
Yeah, Cuds is really good at like manipulating like actual like images. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll make people short.
Like
and
he
shit.
can make hilarious. You look good, Grady.
I love that.
So you said you hired Beehive. You hired who else? There was another name you put up that you said was helping.
Oh man, we've hired a bunch of people, but yeah, I'd love to give a shout out to Drew Mogling. So he's like a Cleveland guy as well. I'm from Akron, Ohio. Mm-hmm. He's from Cleveland, and he is like the behind the scenes guy at NRG. So behind the scenes, he's like a offensive lineman,
Yeah.
And he just runs all the socials 24/7. So like we call it like the pulse content, like just the stuff that keeps our brand like beaten. And so he kind of oversees most of that stuff. And then Beehive will drop in the bangers, and then I kind of like oversee all of it. And
when these people tweet
projects,
like not Beehive, the person running actual Twitter, do they have to go through somebody first for every tweet?
Not anymore. When they first started, it used to just pretty much just be me. And I used to have a bunch of rules like when we were first starting out, because we were really small. And I mean, not really small, but we definitely weren't where we are today. Like, we'd get 100, 200 likes on a tweet and it'd be like, throw a party. So it used to be just me running the Instagram and Twitter for the most part, and then there were some other guys who would help out, named Corey and Joe. But then as time went on, I kind of took control, and then I hired, a few other guys, and they used to have to like ask me like, hey, is it cool if I tweet this? Is it cool if I tweet that? Because I mean, you have some grace when you're a person tweeting, but when you're a brand tweeting and you tweet the wrong thing, it just is like so detrimental.
Yeah.
And so they would always ask me, they'd be like, yo, is it cool if I tweet this?
When I tweet the wrong thing, it's like in my favor.
Yeah, seriously. But now it's like pretty loose, and they'll ask me from time to time like, hey, is this too much, or is this person gonna get mad, or what do you think about this? And we'll all talk about it as a team, but there's not like a pretty much everyone has the launch codes.
Now when you come up with an idea, like a video idea for the Fortnite kids or whatever to do together, do you have to go through someone, or do you just hit them up and say, yo, we need to do this now, boom, it's uploaded, it's ready?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I don't have to anyone up. So I work directly with Andy Miller like every day. So we talk on the phone like a few hours a day every day. There's like a kind of like an executive team of us, and I'm on the content side. Andy's obviously oversees everything, and then there's Jamie, who's GM and chief of staff, and then Brett Lautenbach, who's like the president. And so we all kind of hop on calls and go through stuff.
Has there ever been anything that like you cleared that you thought was fine and then it wasn't?
Yeah, tons of stuff.
Like what? Nah, give me the worst one. Give me one where you're like, oh no, like the worst one that you can think of.
The worst one I can think of.
Yeah.
It's so bad I can't even talk about it.
There's two. One was when Unknown griefed Clicks, and I think your audience would appreciate that. I think I tweeted out, and we were about to sign Clicks. So like Clicks was like, we were like trying to be like, yo, sign with NRG, sign with NRG. And Unknown griefed Clicks, and Unknown was in NRG, and Clicks was furious. And I was driving in the car, like on the way home, and I just see the Fortnite community and my notifications going off, like, LOL Unknown, whatever. And then I think I tweeted out something like proud org moment or something like that. And everyone was like, what the fuck? Like you're promoting cheating, you're promoting this. And Jamie called me and he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, I don't know. And then I deleted it, but obviously everyone like screenshots it. But I was literally just like, that's like a good classic example of like, I'm just driving home, like
I think it's
in the
funny.
car,
Yeah.
off a tweet, and like all hell breaks loose, and it's like Clicks is pissed. And I'm like, oh God, like 3 seconds and I almost just fucking tanked the deal.
It sounds like you had like a lack of context in that situation. Really. Yeah. That's great. That's so funny.
Yeah, that's where Beehive helps come in now, because I'm like, yo, is this okay?
Tweet. That's a great
tweet.
I
agree, man. I stand. I stand by it.
And
what was the second one? You said you had a second one. What was the second one?
Oh man, dude, this is a long story. So I won't get into all of it, but the fucking I don't even want to say it, dude. But the fucking the rebrand back in the day.
Oh my god, that was horrible. Is that still it? No, you rebranded again, right?
No. Well, kinda.
Dude, no, you did. Stop. Don't kinda.
Yeah,
no, you were. They looked like fucking Eastpak, bro. Look up the Eastpak logo.
We did this like brand reveal thing, and it was probably like my biggest failure as at my job. And we made this video, and I had never worked with gamers before, and I was like, "Yo, we're gonna get fucking King Vader, and we're gonna make this dope ass video."
You did it, right?
We did it, and
King Vader is nuts, bro. I've been watching him for years.
He's so sick, and King Vader's like, down, let's do it. And so we meet up in this field. King Vader shows up, whatever. I have all the gamers. I'm kind of meeting and working with gamers in real life for the first time. And I'm like, and King Vader's like, all right, guys, so all I need you to do is go like this.
Yeah.
Like this, like dance. Like this.
Have you seen King Vader before, Edwin?
No, I haven't, but I know what that dance is. I know
that's his like specialty.
Oh, really? He
Yeah,
does the
yeah, like some intense shit will happen.
like-
It'll be like him as Goku
Yeah.
and he shoots a fucking
Yeah,
Kamehameha and
no,
kills
no,
someone,
no.
and then the dance starts.
Yeah, no, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I actually know exactly who that is.
Yeah.
I just followed him on Twitter. I was like, who is that? Because I wanted some context of like why bringing him in was such a badass.
And it's all his stuff is like that. It's his signature, but every time it's so entertaining somehow. He just,
Yeah. Okay, so how did that fuck up? Okay, continue.
So right, so it's a great fucking idea, and it was like I was like, this is gonna be so sick. And I'm used to working with like content creators and YouTubers, and then the gamers show up, and I'm like, and he's like, just go like this, and they're like, nah, can't do it, can't do that.
The gamers
and
said that?
Yeah, and I was like, oh shit, because they're like super like people like they're pretty shy. You know?
Yeah.
Exactly. They have one job to fucking move sideways.
Nah, yeah, but it's like, but they have to do it to like a rhythm. They have, you know what I'm saying? It's not like.
No, they just said no. They didn't even like couldn't do it. They told them no.
I know, because they didn't want to. They're like, no, that looks embarrassing.
Super shy. Yeah, they were super shy, and they're like, this isn't gonna be cool. So, anyways, we kind of go through with it, whatever, and it became this whole thing, and this video became the crux of it, and then I get. So basically, I'm like calling this guy, and King Vader's not editing it. It's like another dude who's editing it, and I'm it's actually at the Fortnite World Cup, and so this guy is not getting back to me. Finally, he sends me a cut, it was 24 hours before we were going to release, or like no, it was like 36 hours before we were going to release. He sends me a cut, and I'm like, it's terrible. It's the worst video I've ever seen in my whole life. And I'm like, no, dude, like, no, you, I literally on my phone, like, you fucked me, bro. Like, you literally fucked me. Like, this is insane. And he's like, dude, I'll make it right. And I stayed up for 36 hours straight, calling this guy every hour to get edits on this video just to try to make it like decent watchable, and it got down to the wire. It was like 4 a.m. and I'm calling this guy, and he's ignoring my calls, and I'm like going crazy, like, dude, we got to get this video right. It's a huge deal. And this is how crazy and like anxiety driven I was. I call him, he accidentally picked up in his pocket, and I can hear him editing, and I'm just sitting there on the phone for 90 minutes just listening to this dude edit in his fucking pocket. Just like, come on, man. Like, you gotta pull through.
That's passion, dude. I love that. That's passion, bro.
Yeah, I'm like in the bathroom because I'm like with my graphic designer. We're sharing the hotel room, and I'm in the bathroom with the lights on, just like, no, this can't be happening. He gets me the video at 5 a.m. It's still dog shit, and I'm like, oh God. And so like I'm at 5 a.m. I'm trying to edit something together, and then it's like I show some people and they're like, yeah, it's fine, just let it rip. We let it rip, and it was like the world fucking ended, bro. It was probably the worst feeling I've ever felt in my entire life. I'm not gonna lie. It was like the most defeating.
Did you come up with a logo?
Ever. No, I mean we all kind of came up with
deserve it to be the worst feeling you've had in your life.
I will say this though. I definitely watched that video just due to the proximity of myself and the community. I had to watch it, right? And I don't remember anyone really saying anything about the video. I remember people saying something about the logo.
Exactly.
It wasn't even the video, bro.
I didn't have a problem with the video. When it came out, I was like,
yeah,
when it came out,
it was just all together.
In my head, I was like, oh shit, King Vader, you know? And then I was like, isn't this like an Eastpak logo? And I look, and it's the exact. How did that get through? How the fuck did that get through, bro?
But before that, I would actually say, to your credit, when I watched that video, because I know I watched it. And let me ask you this: were they wearing like a bright green like shirt or hoodie or something? Yeah, then I definitely watched it, and I remember thinking to myself, I know that movement, I know that editing, I know that music. Like it's a meme. He made a meme. It was a meme.
Right.
And if anything, I wasn't like, what the fuck? I was like, that's kind of cool. They get it. They're like, this is popular.
The video is like, and that's what people have told me before, but that was like my big part of it. And just to see like a negative backlash on it, I don't know. I was like, Andy and Brett and Jamie didn't even like, they saw me and they didn't even say like, yo, what the fuck? They were like, are you okay? Like, are you going to be okay? Like, that's how devastated I was. And it was because we had just gotten on a roll. I had just got all this Fortnite stuff going. I had just made the most watched video. It was like we were boom, boom, boom. And then it was just like this devastating blow. And I feel like Jamie will be like, dude, why did you even talk about this again? But it is like just a huge part of like our story. Is
I think
like
you developed
No,
it.
it's good. It's
Jamie
good.
won't say that
100%.
because Jamie fucks with us too. Well, I mean, like he likes my stuff all the time. So,
but it was this huge moment where it was like, and it's just like it was a huge defining moment for NRG because it was like the moment where it was like, all right, no one's ever gonna fucking hand us anything ever again. You know what I mean? It was like, now we just gotta buckle down. We got each other, and we're just gonna grind through this and build ourselves back up. And like, we're still gonna build like the biggest esports org ever. And it was a cool moment.
How did you bounce back from that logo? Because now you don't have it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, we just switched to the letters. We thought the letters were really cool. Yeah. We thought the letters were really cool, and we just went black and white, and that was like another option that we had on the table, and so we just bounced to that one instead, and just kind of kept on moving on. But it was rough, man. I remember after I posted it, and it kind of goes back to what you're talking about with my personal brand thing. I remember sitting outside of Helix Esports, and that was the place where all the Fortnite World Cup. Yeah, in place in New York where everyone in the Fortnite World Cup came to train before the Fortnite World Cup, so all the pros are there. And also there are all these kids there that are hanging out trying to meet pros. And I'm sitting there like with my head in my hands like this, and 6 little kids come up to me, and they're like, "You're the guy that sings the Shotgun One Pump song." And I'm like, yeah, I am. And they're like, "Can we get a photo? Like, you're so awesome." And I remember having this moment where I was like, what the fuck am I doing, man? Like I'm at the Fortnite World Cup. This is like you know what I mean? Like, this is the only time where I'm gonna get to like feel what I created over all this time, and I'm sitting here and I got my head in my hands over like a rebrand of a company I've only worked for 9 months. Yeah, and I was just like, what am I doing? And I gotta like enjoy this moment, and so I went to the World Cup the next day finally, and it was a blast. But yeah, dude, that was like the worst thing I ever tweeted out, the worst point of my career, and probably the worst thing I ever made.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing, dude. Like that's I can definitely see why that would have been like especially with someone like you, bro. Like you seem like us. Like I was imagining what you were saying in the aspect of like, because right now we're booming. We're there. We're like we're pushing out content. We're doing what we need to do, and it's like I was thinking to myself like, what if something like that happened to us? You know what I'm saying? Like something like just unforeseeable in the near future, like after booming so hard. Yeah, it'd be real demotivating, bro. Like I get it, you know.
Yeah,
but hey, you guys bounce back hard as fuck, though. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
yeah.
Let me ask you a question. When people started making fun of you guys, was it in a hateful way, or was it just like, all right, the whole world's clowning you, and technically that publicity can be shifted? You know, now there's all these eyes on NRG.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
It was a little of both. I think like I think it was a little of both. Like, it definitely brought us to a level, but I don't know. People were saying like this is the worst thing ever, and this is crazy, and this is a joke. I mean, it's true. All good, like all publicity is good publicity. I think we gained a bunch of followers that day, and we did a bunch of stuff. But to a certain extent, it's like you want people to buy an NRG hoodie, you know, and like you want people to feel like you can rep the brand, and you don't want to be just getting shit on. And so I have a soft I have two rules now, like for myself, even, where it's just like I have a soft heart for like any org who like rebrands, or anyone who's getting shit on for like, you know, trying to like reach out creatively, do something different. Because a lot of times it's like, it's not like we went out there and we were like, let's really fuck with everyone and like destroy something that people hate, that people loved. It was like we really wanted to make something that people liked, and it just turned out we didn't do it. We missed the mark. But I feel the same way when I see like other orgs rebrand and stuff, and I'm just like, oh man, like this is gonna go so bad. And I think especially in the gaming community, like gamers don't really like change. and they don't want you to like, we have our fucking setups, we have our games that we play, we have our discords that we hang out in, and this is like what's consistent in a lot of our lives. And so when you change that thing that's consistent in people's lives, it's not going to be met with like excitement. Usually it's going to be met with like, yo, this is like the one thing that I could depend on, that fucking, you know, not even NRG, but even evil geniuses show up and play Counter-Strike on these days, and I wear their jersey and it has this logo on it, and that's what's consistent in my life.
Does Andy know that you wear that jersey?
The evil genius jersey?
So you bought a castle.
Yes.
What the?
That was my bounce back, bro. That was my big.
That's what? That's a bounce back, I would say. Yes.
So explain to me, what the fuck is that? Like why not just a house? You bought a castle that you
That's a great question.
do shit in with a fucking candy machine and a fruit punched water fountain.
Yeah. So after all that stuff happened, whatever, we're like, all right, we're moving on. How else can we make NRG bigger and better? And I hop on a call, and I'm kind of newer to the company, and it's with Andy and Brett and Jamie and some other people, and they're talking about doing a content house. And they're like, yo, what if we got Symphony and Mr. Savage and Svenas? We had Svenas.
They'd all hate each other in the same house.
Yeah, they'd all, and like, we got to a point where I was like, dude, they all live in different countries, and no one's gonna, like, where are they gonna move? Like Kansas, and none of them are friends. And so I was like, look, everyone's in a content house, and I grew up a huge Rob Dyrdek fan because I'm from Ohio.
Yes.
I skateboarded a little bit, and I was like, and he did this thing called the Fantasy Factory. For if you guys, if you know, the viewers don't know about it, it was he basically wanted to take skateboarding from a subculture to the mainstream. So he built this crazy indoor skate park fun zone out of a warehouse. He called it the Fantasy Factory, and he invited like famous celebrities and rappers to come by and promote the skating scene. And I was like, yo, that was what happened after Robin Big, the original reality show where they lived in the house. I was like, yo, what's next is we're going to start making content spaces. That's what people are going to start doing.
Right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
IP.
Yeah.
I remember watching that show, and like I wasn't even into it. It was just my brother would watch, and I'd sit there and watch, and it was a good show.
It was a good show. Even if you weren't a skater, bro, that's what really like brought it together.
Yeah. I wasn't a skater, and it was just like, it was one of the better reality TV shows.
100%.
It felt less fake.
Yeah, 100%. And so anyways, I brought my little, made this like shitty little PowerPoint deck with like JPEG images on like a black background, and I brought it to this meeting, and I was like, hey guys, so here's what I think, like, here's our issue. We want to make more IRL content. We can't make a content house. What if we made the Fantasy Factory for gaming? And is the reason it's called the Castle is because I was originally going to call it the Content Castle. But we thought the castle might have just been better. So Andy was like, yeah, dude, if you think you can do this, like, I'll let you do it. And I was like, are you serious? And he was like, yeah, like, here's a bunch of money, like, go build it. I love the idea. And so I found a warehouse, like my college buddy found me this warehouse in LA. It was like the cheapest warehouse I could find in LA. And then like I knew a friend of a friend who was like a set designer. He did like all these crazy sets for like The Voice and like all these Netflix shows. And I met with them and I was like, yo, here's my vision. Can we make this happen? I met with a contractor, and then I like oversaw this like 30-person project in a warehouse, like all these people working, and just built out the castle.
It would have been cool to have vlogged that.
I vlogged the beginning of it, where I was like, there's footage of me that is like, it's actually a really funny story. My video editor Aiden, I was like, yo, let's walk through this empty warehouse, and I'll kind of like say, you know, this is going to be here, this is going to be here, and we'll always have this footage in case this ever blows up. And I was having this like really sentimental moment on camera, like to the camera. And I was like, yeah, like I don't know, like I'm taking a huge risk. Who knows if it's going to work out? I just hope, that, people will watch the content I put out here. And I kind of like put my head down, and the guy in the camera goes, People will watch, man. Like jumped in. I was like, Aiden, it's for the vlog, for the footage. But
You sound bad, bro. He didn't forget about the fucking rebrand.
yeah, exactly. Bro, like, not to keep belaboring that, but like me even saying like, should it be called the castle or the content castle, or should it be called the castle, or should it be called this? Like all the shit that went through my head because of the fucking trauma of just getting shit on. Like, I still am not recovered from that. Like sometimes we still do something creative and we put our face out there, and my heart rate is skyrocketing, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the end of NRG again, because I've just seen it happen before.
Again, dude.
Oh, shit.
See, and that's a credit to the fact that the comment section is fucked up. Like these people think that like we're not like no real. You know what I'm saying? They think that we're just fucking here for their entertainment and have absolutely no emotions, bro. Like we read that shit, dude. We don't reply because y'all are animals, but like, you know what I'm saying? We read it. Like it's like at least the negative ones. The positive ones, those ones need more attention. See, and that's the problem. As content creators, I catch myself reading a bunch of positivity and for some reason not valuing it as much as the negativity, you know what I'm saying? And recently I've been taking myself back from that, and I've been really reminding myself that out of these 100 comments, there's 2 dickheads. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I also try to help you with that too, because you'll come up to me and you'll be like, dude, Arab, they don't like this or something. And I'll be like, Edwin, that was one comment. Because I'm reading them just as much. I'm like, Edwin, there's fucking 29 other ones that are. Here's the thing. Yo, this is sick. This is your best.
Look. When I was in the Joke Squad, like when I filmed actively in that, I never really, I read them sometimes, but we were, I don't know, it's different. Like this is different. Like we were outside a lot of the time. We're like filming in real life. Like I wasn't in front of a computer all the time, so I never really had time or even a want to go through it. But now I do. And now I'm just, you know, and so I'm getting, I have to get better at that, because it's the same shit, bro. I feel like some sort of like trauma as to, oh, I have to do this differently. But I'm only thinking that because like 3 people said it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. As opposed to, you know.
So I used to teach English, like high school English, and well, I was in school for it. But
that's a better job. You shouldn't have quit.
Seriously. And one of the big things when you're teaching, you know, kids public speaking, something you tell them is, because people's number one fear is public speaking or like putting themselves out there, and probably the same thing when you read comments on Twitter, just like hearing people's feedback. And one of the things you say to those people is like, no one is looking at you up there and wants you to fail, right? Like people want to be entertained. They don't want you to get up there and make it awkward for them. So like everyone's rooting for you, and that will like help a lot of people. But dude, on Twitter and social media these days, people want you to fail, and they want because they want fucking ratio you, and they want to like that's the whole culture. It's like, I want to get more likes making fun of you than the act. Like I want this to be bad so we can meme it.
And you want to know what's the mainstream people, like normal people, don't use Twitter. It's just the fucking losers, dude.
They don't.
Because let me tell you what, we're at these past 2 weeks we're in Miami. And we were like at these parties for networking, etc. You know, every social media person you can think of that's in Miami is there. And you know, when you meet someone, they ask you for your Instagram, and my Instagram is banned because I have @Arab. It's always fucking suspended because people are always, you know, impersonation ban, whatever. So I go and I tell them, I'm like, no, my Instagram's banned. Like I'll be getting it back soon, hopefully. Do you have Twitter? And they're like, no. Nope. I'm like, you're telling me you have a fucking 400K verified Instagram and you have 0 followers on Twitter?
Yeah,
like you don't use it at all. Yeah, I don't have an account.
Yeah.
I didn't know people were on Twitter. When I was doing my Instagram thing, I had like 300,000 Instagram followers. I didn't know people were on Twitter. I didn't know gamers were on Twitter.
Dude, so Instagram is really normie, because Instagram takes a lot less mental heavy lifting, if that makes sense. Like you take a cool picture, you know it's cool, you get it edited, like it's pretty simple. But like here, dude, it's like we're fucking poets, dude. We be writing some crazy shit. We're trying to, you know, entertain people with our words, and that's a lot harder. And that's why, like, you know, I have like 30+K on Instagram. I prefer my Twitter audience now. I used to never. I would, dude. 4 years ago, 3 years ago, I never thought I would say that. You know what I'm saying? Because I loved my Instagram. I used to post on it all the time. Now I never post on Instagram. I post all the time on Twitter. But it's a completely different community. Like I said, Twitter is very normie, like that shit, Instagram is very normie. Twitter is very gamer centric, very like subculture. You know what I'm saying?
But it's like a lot of like community communication. Like you're communicating
exactly.
with your community, with this community, with that community, with this community event. And then Instagram is more like you're showing off your
Exactly.
personal lifestyle. And it's like, yo, check out this cool party that none of you guys got invited to that I'm at. Type thing.
Yeah,
I like Instagram for just the cool pictures.
Air misses his because he likes flexing. He wants to be the guy at the party that got invited and everyone else didn't.
I wish I had more to flex.
Yeah, but that's all I do. I don't really like. That's why I built this, just so I could flex on everyone.
Yeah. I mean, he's getting jacked and like working out a lot just to literally flex on people. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that makes sense.
That.
Grady, the castle. Have you been putting it to use? I remember you guys made your announcement video. You also are saying that like anybody can come, like you invite other creators outside of NRG. How's that dynamic?
Yeah, it's been great. So COVID obviously has slowed a lot of that down, but we've been able to do some super safe bulk shooting. And so we've gotten a ton of videos out. Hot Pockets just sponsored the castle in its entirety. So that was like
so
huge...
how does that work when a company sponsors something like that? What does that mean?
Yeah, so basically they have like it's called the NRG Hot Pockets Castle, and when they're gonna have a installation in there, like this really dope Hot Pockets installation in there, and then we create like the videos we create out of the castle. A set amount of them are going to have like exclusive Hot Pocket branding on it. But we do a pretty good job, and they're really cool. Like, I was like, yo, I need to have total creative freedom over this and that. And they're like, yeah, that's totally fine. So it's mostly just like in the same way Barstool will do like ad reads before their podcast or something like that. But everything in between is still the same. That's kind of how Hot Pockets is sponsoring the castle. But yeah, man, it was a huge, huge deal. Made it for a while. Yeah, if you guys have seen Parks and Rec, the castle really felt like Entertainment 720 for a while, and that like really justified it and was like dope. We're making money now, so it felt really good.
Awesome.
So you fly out these groups, the Fortnite kids, and you film in bulk so you have them there for a week, and then you film enough videos for 6 months.
Sometimes, like when COVID first started, we literally did that. I filmed enough for like 3 months.
And how many videos is that? Once a week?
Yeah, like once a week.
12 videos. Okay.
Yeah, and then we did it again right at the end because we needed to do like COVID safe shoot. Now I really want to just make more in the moment stuff, and I want to make it more like it's happening now, because I think, I don't know, there's just something, even when I watch a video and I know they slip up and they say like, oh yeah, Tuesday, and it's Thursday, it kind of like pulls me out of that immersion a little bit. I just really want to make more stuff that's in the moment. I want to get more creators around the castle. Obviously, you guys need to come through next time you're in LA, and I just want to have more people like around it and making more stuff that is like live in the moment. But yeah, for the time during COVID, it was like the only way we could really get people through was we would have them come out, and since they came out and the money we had to spend to keep it super safe and friendly, we had to shoot like 12 or 13 videos at a time.
Was that exhausting? Was that a lot?
Yeah, it was definitely a lot, and it's a lot for like the gamers too, obviously. But we like definitely kept them happy, and we showed them the time of their lives in LA, and it was really fun. But I think it's a lot for producing it, because you're juggling all those things. It's like, all right, I need to get 20 fucking videos, and
fucking SD card gets full.
SD card gets full, or someone is like starting to get a little pissed off, and so you have to like switch up the ideas, or a lot of times it'd be like I'd shoot a individual video with Clicks, Ron, Edgy, and Epic, and so that's 4 videos, And even though they are able to take breaks, like I'm going straight through with the crew, like trying to get this done. So it would be like 8 or 9 hour days, especially during that original launch too. And then the entire time I'm thinking like, oh man, is this gonna work? And so it's a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress to shoot that way. And then you get done with the shoot, right? And someone's wearing like the wrong shirt, or or it's like, hey, the audio is off on camera too. And it's like, all right, well, next 3 months
they're wearing their old org shirt or something.
Yeah, or like they'll be like, the audio is off on camera too. And it's like, cool. So for the next 3 months, every comment's just gonna be, what's with the audio? What's with the audio? What's with the audio?
Why can't you just take the audio from camera 1? Wait.
Oh fuck! No, I'm joking.
You're saying for the single person videos, or you're just saying it just in general, like
just like an
you
example.
have an angle of a makes sense.
He's like, fuck, I have to make a phone call. It's
like, yo, they didn't figure this out. Fucking the last 3 videos, it's been fucked up. Like, this company sucks. And they wouldn't be lying either. Grady, do you ever mix? Like, is there a plan to mix the Fortnite kids and the Valorant kids and the?
Dude, honestly, I don't think people care that much, and I don't like. We've done it. We've done videos where we mix people together, and they get way less views than when we mix.
Makes sense.
More people together. Like, people don't want Fortnite kids in their Valorant content.
Yeah, I can see that.
There's like in Apex and stuff, like, even for example, even me, like, I'm in the Fortnite content, like emceeing a bunch of stuff, and the comments are always like, relatively positive. And then I could hop into an Apex video, or I'm hosting a castle video, and everyone's like, yo, this guy is way too much right now. And it's just like, I don't know. Like I said, like, gamers really like consistency. They like who they like to watch. And it's tough to like introduce new personalities and cross-pollinate communities. They kind of just want to stay in their own lanes.
Are you as loved in the other communities?
No, I don't think so. Dude, I could have been in. So I posted a Valorant video when Valorant first dropped, and I got followed back. I'm looking at Discord right now. Like, I'm in the Valorant Pro, Valorant Intel Discord communities because I made this video. And so Valorant, I think they kind of like me. Apex, I'm a little too over the top for them. They like people who are a little more chill. But I don't know. It's tough to say. I mean, they don't have a reason to like me in those communities. Like, it's not like I've earned anything. Like, part of it is like, who's this kid who's hopping in with like 4 pro players? Like, I didn't click on this video to watch some random guy.
But you hopped in on the Fortnite one. I mean,
yeah, I think because I had that like Instagram base, some people recognized me, and then people kind of informed each other of who I was, and it worked out a little better.
Fuck, I had a specific question.
Bro, isn't it crazy that like your previous go ahead if you reminded.
Yeah. Perfect. Mixing content, right? The teams. What if you did like a tug of war, a 4-way tug of war, Fortnite versus Valorant versus Apex? Like,
I'd be down.
That'd be cool. Like, who are the strongest pros?
Yeah, that stuff works. That stuff works. Like, if it's like community against community, that stuff definitely works.
They like
that
to fucking root on their community, Fuck these Fortnite kids, I told you.
Yeah, that stuff works. I know, like, we've done stuff like or people really like some, like, when you put one of them in with the others. So like when Benji played Rocket League with their pro guys, people really like that.
Yeah. Or like, who's a better chef? And it's the Fortnite kids trying to cook up a meal, and the Valorant kids have to cook up a meal. Like, I don't know.
I love that.
Things like
and
that.
It turns out it all sucks.
Yeah, it all sucks.
I was gonna say, isn't it interesting how, like, it wasn't the fact that you went to college, it wasn't the fact that you had a resume that the community accepted you. It was actually your previous involvement in social media that got you like the community acceptance that some random college student wouldn't. You get what I'm saying? Like, with that point, what I'm saying is, I get questions like this all the time, like on stream or just in general, where it's like, do I need college to do this? Do I need college to be a social media manager? It's like, Not really. Like you need presence in the community you're trying to be a part of. You know what I'm saying? And that's why when people start streaming, like for example, a game, Fortnite. Like I know kids from my high school or whatever, they're just like now trying to start streaming because they see everyone's doing it or whatever. And they don't understand that they can't just like stream the game. They kind of have to participate in the community to a degree. You know what I'm saying? And people
I didn't understand. I didn't understand that.
People don't get that. Like the people who aren't in the subcultures we're in, they don't understand that. And some of them never get it. You know what I'm saying?
100%. And that's where I was on Instagram, right? Is like I didn't understand how I was making Fortnite content, but I wasn't in the Fortnite community and I didn't understand how that works. And so I didn't feel like attached to anything. And so I was like, I don't know where I go from here. But if I would have like been introduced to that community and like understand how it all worked and who are the players and who I need to interact with and like to be a part of it, to be a streamer, then yeah, it would have went a lot easier. But yeah, I mean that's it's true about the college thing as well. The reason I even got my job was because I mean both jobs for the most part is I was working at the NFL. Ooh. And I was at the NFL and I was doing my Fortnite Instagram stuff on the side. And then Andy Miller called me basically and was like, yo, I need someone who, you know, can run Fortnite and knows about social media. And I was like, cool. Like, I'm the only dude over the age of 16 who can help you. You know? So like you found the guy. And so that's how I kind of got in. It was just because of like the special skill set, random unique skill set that I had. And so I think it's like focus on communities and then like add value to that community in whatever way you can. And you know, kids who are like learning how to, there's this guy named Goomer who runs like our grid broadcast from a college dorm room, and he's like a super whiz kid who just figured out how like to do live events on Twitch, and that's hugely valuable. And way more valuable than a marketing degree. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say I'm not like anti-college or anything like that. Like it's obviously great if you can afford it and have a good time and go do it. It's fun. But yeah, I wouldn't stress out.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you know, there's like kids that go to like theater school because they want to be an actor. Like they go through like crazy like exclusive like theater colleges, and sometimes obviously those colleges are connected and they can get you like jobs in that realm. But I think a lot of like casting calls nowadays, they're like, okay, do you generally look like the person we're trying to portray, and do you have any sort of social media following that would ease our marketing? And I feel like those are like the two things that they mainly look for. It's typecasting and audience that you already own, basically. Because you know, there's like a theater kid who's like a really good actor but has zero following, and then there's like a kid that like we could probably make into a decent actor, and he has like 5 million. You know, like who are you gonna pick from a money standpoint? You know?
Yeah, 100%. It's crazy how different it is now.
Have you ever been asked? Like when Andy called you, did he ask you what's your education in, or did he just say, "Listen, I need you. You qualify"?
I don't think he did. He always says that he knew he wanted to hire me within the first 15 seconds of talking to me. So I don't know what magic words I said in that 15 seconds. But he never asked for a resume, and he never asked for. Maybe he did. I don't think so though. I think he might have just knew me through like we had like a connection through a connection, and it was basically like one of my bosses at the NFL had left to go do like a talent agency thing, and Brett knew that guy. He asked that guy, "Hey, is there any guy who would be good for this job?" And he was like, "Yo, Grady is." So I think like through those connections, they knew that. I don't know. They didn't need to check my resume. I guess he just went on gut. But we've hired people. There are people in our company who don't have college degrees that are in high positions for sure.
So is your plan now in the future do you plan to ever go back to your personal brand, or is your plan to take over as one of the executives of NRG and then essentially vote Andy Miller out at the end?
Fuck. You guys are on to me, man. My plan, I think I want to see NRG through. Like it's something bigger than myself, and I've just dedicated too much of my life to it. I'm in way too deep to not see it through. And so I really want to see it through and see how far we can take this thing and where we can take it. And we have huge plans. And in a lot of ways, I'm doing a lot what I dreamed of, where like people literally say to me, like, dude, we need your brain. And like, we need you to just like stop doing busy work and start thinking and start figuring out where we want NRG to go. And like, to feel that it's a lot of responsibility and it's a lot of anxiety, but there's never a day where I wake up and I'm like, I'm not
excited to go
I'm
to work.
I'm not excited to go to work, or I'm not like doing something I love or doing something that matters. Like a lot of my buddies are like accountants and lawyers, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not like they're waking up and they're like, how do I fucking make a 1 million view video and do this? So I really like it in that aspect, but at some point I'd like to start doing my personal stuff again. I just miss being on camera more. And I was really passionate about that, and I always have been. And so maybe there'll be a time where my time gets freed up and I'll get to be on camera more and start building up my audience again.
I love it, bro. I don't think I could ever be behind camera. Like I feel weird. Luckily for our vlog stuff, Edwin likes holding the camera, so
yeah. I feel like it's easy to be a character on both sides of the camera, because that's kind of like what we did for Jug Squad, where like we'd film each other, but like even in like David Dobrik's vlogs, like David like kind of holds the camera the whole time. You know what I'm saying? You kind of see him when he does like the ads and shit, but it's kind of like I like holding the camera because I like capturing situations, and because I edit them too. I edit the videos too, and so like I film to edit. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I like being in control of that too. So, anyways, yeah,
and
I like both sides, bro. I like both sides.
They know it's his project too. You know, like when they go compliment the vlogs, they're like, "Wow, Edwin killed the editing." You know, Edwin, and I'm the guy who cracks jokes, and that's what I enjoy being.
He's an excellent character, bro. He makes shit so easy, because I've filmed with people before that are so fucking boring that I couldn't edit a personality into them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so myself,
and for me, I don't have a personality. I don't have one, and he edits.
he just has the looks. But like Arab makes it really easy, and we have like a really funny and eccentric group of friends here in Florida, so it makes it really easy to get. Like we can go out for 30 minutes and get a vlog's worth of content sometimes.
You know Vlog Creations?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I know him personally. Ross, cool. He lives like 45 minutes away from here.
You're a big fan.
Big fan, bro.
Really? He's a really nice guy.
I think he's one of the smartest.
Yeah. He's so funny, bro.
How does he not run out of these great ideas?
Like, he's a little kid, bro. He's a little kid at heart. That's what it is.
I love it because his pranks are like, it's like they happen and they're out in the public, but like he's never really like hurting anyone, you know?
Not annoying,
never.
Bro. Dude. Oh my God. You know what I love about him the most? That he cleans up his shit. He cleans it up. Like every time.
I didn't know that.
Every time he does a prank that like there would be something left over, he cleans it up. Like he put googly eyes on a billboard for a bit, and then he went up there himself, put them on,
like scraped them off.
Yeah, and then he went up there himself after and took them off. And the other thing I love about him is, dude, you know Nelk, like, and I have a lot of respect for them from like a business aspect, from all of that, and obviously they've killed it. We filmed with them a few times, like when they were here in Florida, but there was this one thing that I watched, and I could no longer watch videos like that, and it was when they went and they ruined a wine tour for people, like
that's
real
when I kind of
people.
stopped too, bro.
I was like, dude, I get it. The sneezing in the library, the eating the lettuce, the being loud, whatever. I understand like being a little annoying in public, because that was kind of our thing in Jug Squad. But like that is like, you are ruining somebody's paid experience, and I couldn't fuck with that like a little bit. I was like, dude, that sucks.
Hopefully they got a refund.
I did.
I never thought of that.
I do really like Nelk's. I wanted to mention this earlier when we were talking about filming behind the scenes at the castle. Nelk's shithole channel. Have you watched that, Grady?
Yeah, I like that a lot.
That channel is probably one of my favorite channels, because it shows you actually like what goes on behind the scenes, and that's what nobody realizes. You know, like content wasn't a thing back then, so nobody, running a business, you just gotta fucking figure it out. There's nothing to put your, understand like a foundation of it. So if you guys build that, like, no other esports org is doing that. Like, what if you were to build kind of like a shithole channel? Like, yo, here's what's going on behind the scenes. You know,
I'd love to do that. I actually met Kyle recently, and he is like, he's really smart. He's like a business guy. Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell.
Whatever character he plays, he's like, he was telling me about Happy Dad, and there's this guy John Shahady who's kind of behind the scenes as well, and they make serious moves, man. It's crazy. But yeah, that's a great idea. I mean, we've talked about that. Like, I really want to get it, and I think like crossing my personal brand with my regular brand, and even talking what you're talking about being behind the camera versus in front of the camera. Sometimes I get into this weird thing where like I want to be in front of the camera, but I never want to be the kid who's like tweeting about himself, you know, or like, cause like I run the NRG accounts, you know what I mean? And so there's always this weird dynamic.
No. Listen. If I was in your position and I already had a following and I was already semi-established as a creator, I don't think I would leave my mantle. I would just be like, it would just be like, yo, like I'm gonna help you guys out. I'm gonna do all the work that you guys need to be done, but I'm also gonna be like a character. Like they wouldn't care. They'd be like, oh fuck yeah, you're adding.
Yeah, they don't at all.
You're adding more value to it. Like for example, we have a business partner in this Minecraft server that we just launched. Before we started on Twitch, he was nobody. Like he didn't have a following. He didn't do anything. Well, in the last month or so, he's blown the fuck up. He gets like between
500 viewers, bro.
500 to 1,000 viewers, like because he
over 3-4 weeks, bro.
Dude, literally over 3-4 weeks. He literally surpassed my size, and now he's like Arab sized in 3 weeks, and I would say in about 3 months of effort. Right, one of the smartest kids I've ever met. But, anyways, he adds more value now to the server because originally he couldn't add the marketing value that we could, but now he can, and it's like. In that perspective, you can add more value to that as well. You know what I'm saying? Like it's on you, bro. It's in your mind. It's a mental thing for sure. I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely is like a mental thing, but it's always in the back of my head where it's weird to want this have the spotlight and then put it on yourself.
Let me tell you, because Edwin does this as well. Exactly what you're saying. He makes sure like that. If there's any good footage, it goes on the vlog channel, and he's afraid to like lower the standard a little. No. Listen, it's not a bad thing. But, like, we'll film things, right? And then there's extra footage that's like shit that he won't want to use, but like I don't know how to explain this the best way. But like,
so what he's saying is, when and I did this in Jug Squad too, to my detriment, but this is different. This is a completely different like business situation than Jug Squad, so I feel a lot better about doing this. Like I don't mind doing this as much as I would have back then, but so like I film content, like whether he's there, whether he's not there, it doesn't matter. If it's good content, and if it's just me and Omi, me and somebody else, it goes on the Brand Risk channel because that is the current project. That is our current endeavor. So all of the good content goes on the Brand Risk channel. That is just how it goes. Any extra content that we got, any extra vlog type content would go on my channel because I used to upload vlogs. I got up to like 41,000 on YouTube, but I stopped because of we were focusing on the Jug Squad, and then in between the Jug Squad and Brand Risk, I started again. I was making videos, and now Brand Risk is our full-time focus. So I'm like, it makes no sense for me to take the best footage and put it on my shit. Well, we have extra footage, and the extra footage is, in my eyes, not good enough for even my channel. So I just don't use it at all.
But it is great.
But see, I have a really, really high standard of editing. It's like very high, dude. Like to the point where if I'm gonna upload to my other channel, I maybe have to hire an editor and just never look at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel that.
So like I'm even like experimenting in like different types of content that wouldn't be vlog like, cause I just don't. I can't, dude. I can't do it. My standard is too high. Like Arab uploads vlogs that he would say is more like towards what I could upload as well, but for some reason I think it's because of my time in like action sports scars. and yeah, it's like my dude. Listen, it is PTSD because bro, in the Jug Squad videos, if we didn't fucking almost kill ourselves, they wouldn't get views. If we didn't do something crazy or out of pocket, it wouldn't get views. So now it's like if the video isn't overly exciting, ADD centric, I don't think it's good enough. You know what I'm saying?
I totally feel that. I think there's a balance though. So this is another kind of weird fact about me, but I used to when I first moved out to LA, I lived in a content house with George Janko, who's the third
Oh
co-host of
my God,
Impulsive.
really?
Whoa, really?
And
I
Mark
love that
Donor.
dude.
And I was like and so I always tell people this. So like I walked out with Logan in his first fight.
Really?
With the KSI thing. So I was like in that community
That's
first.
really cool.
Not like a big part of it or anything, but I hung out with Mark and George. They're my roommates.
Yeah.
And so I came out and they were like, yo, we're gonna make you a vlogger. And I was like, sick. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. And I think there's even some like old vlog videos up on my channel. But I totally get what you're saying, Edwin, because I was vlogging, but I really didn't have much to vlog about, because the way I kind of describe it is like, it's almost like David Dobrik, right? Like being one of David Dobrik's friends who's like at the top of the pyramid, that's cool. But being one of David Dobrik's friends, not cool, like not as interesting.
See,
that direct connection.
But that's a mental thing. You don't.
Yeah, exactly. But so there was a point though where I was like, what am I vlogging? Like, I was like, why would people want to care about my life? And I was like, I need to do is I need to make my life interesting first before like I start like telling people about it. And so that's kind of where I was like, I'm gonna go do something, like I'm gonna do Fortnite and I'm gonna like fucking game and I'm gonna do something so it's not like I'm just asking people to watch my life. Like I'm gonna make people like interested, and that's kind of where
Interesting is
another
relative.
reason why I joined NRG. Yeah.
Interesting is relative. You
yeah,
know,
bro. Like the thing is, like he's so right, bro. Like the coolest thing that I think is cool is because of my personal experiences. Whereas like the coolest thing that like, you know what I'm saying, like little kids, bro. If you're within 6 people of Logan Paul, you're fucking sick. You know what I'm saying? Like you're the man. You know, like
yeah, I fucking hate bringing that up too, though, because I'm like, it's like such a weird. I don't know. Sometimes I just feel so fucking weird saying that, but I don't know. It's
but you
just
still do. You fucking clout farming fuck.
and I'm gonna clip it. I'm gonna post it everywhere, and I'm gonna post a photo and say, dude, congrats to my boy Logan boxing Floyd Mayweather, man. Remember that one time we fucking mad at
you really killed it, man.
Like,
you've come so far since that double chicken guacamole meal.
Oh wow. Remember us back here eating this chicken bowl? How far we've come,
not
bro.
many people know that we go way back.
and it's a picture of him eating a chicken bowl and you're in the background going like this.
I'm working behind the counter at the Chipotle.
No, dude, it's not even. It's just a picture of him, and then you have the camera emoji and it says your name.
Exactly.
That's funny. That's hilarious. No, but going back to that point, man, I think that one, it's in your head, and two, I just have the reason I don't do that shit is because I just have a really high standard of video to where like my personal brand, I'd rather for right now people know that I make the brand risk videos and not that I make
nobody
like,
really knows you, dude.
Oh, really? Because check the comment section. It's interesting you say that because they all tell me you suck. And
oh
then
wait, no, I did. I saw one of
knew.
the comments on the last video that said these vlogs are ass.
Yeah, no. And was it by your fellow Arab account that posted that, or is that? Anyways. No, man. I think, dude. I
my
think that
you're fighting right now.
I think that you're just an overtly creative person, and that your passion for creativity will lead you back to what you want to do for yourself.
Failure.
You know what I'm saying? Because creating content for yourself feels good, bro. Creating content for yourself feels good. You know, it's cool. Yeah, it's fun.
Dude, there's part of me that feels like I think I wake up. There are days where I wake up stressed out, and I honestly, it's like, not to be dramatic, but I think it's, you guys would probably feel it too. But I honestly wake up and I'm like, I didn't do anything to build my personal brand today, or I didn't make a video today to share with people, and like it gives me anxiety.
I get rid of that by tweeting.
Yeah, I get rid of that by making a video, bitch. Get up.
No, I get rid of that by tweeting. Like if I'm feeling like a lazy fuck, I'll just sit there and think of some joke or some TikTok. Speaking of which, we gotta make a TikTok after this, Edwin. I gotta get stuck. I have to get stuck in the washing machine.
I'm not helping you.
There's like I saw one yesterday because I couldn't sleep, and it was like this lady saying, would you be mad if your lady made more money than you or something, and like somebody stitched it. So I'm gonna stitch it. So like me cooking in the kitchen, like with like it was like if you had to be a stay-at-home, dad, and it's gonna be me cooking in the kitchen with an apron on, and like I'm gonna go put the thing in the dishwasher or whatever, and I'm gonna get stuck.
That's funny.
I'm gonna tell you something it's not funny at all, but I think it's hilarious, but it's not funny. I just can't preface that enough. But I'm on TikTok, and because I do all the content stuff, and I'm like OD'd on like trying to figure out what kind of content works. So I find like refuge in this TikTok account where it's a guy
I'm a refugee as well.
He's nice, perfect. He has a big face filter, and then he pretends to be like he role plays as this like IT security guy, and his name's Clint, and he like defends his employees and stuff, and he gets like pissed at people for not updating their hardwares correctly, and I send it to like people in our company. And I'm like, hey man, like you really got to get those Windows updates on track. Like Clint is very upset with you right now, and
like a whole piece of content inside of NRG.
Yeah, like
that's cool, bro.
I sent it to everyone, and he's like our fake IT guy.
And but it builds I feel like it builds like a family kind of thing inside.
Yeah, for sure. It's a big family internally as well as externally. So,
how many employees is it?
Oh man, I
40?
would have to count. It's probably around there. Yeah, probably around there. I'd have to count though. But I had like a call yesterday with like content people. It was like 10 or 12 people on my call that I was.
Oh,
just
you're
like,
saying 40 including professionals?
No.
Okay, 40 back end people running the business. Okay.
Probably right around there.
And then you include all the players and shit, you're looking at like 70, 80.
Yeah. There's also like the franchises. So like Shock, we have people over there, that like, I don't know, like coach, GM, player manager. Like I'm not sure which one is really talent and which one would count as like a backroom guy.
Yeah.
But
you run you're executive producer. Do you oversee all the other content, the Valorant, the... Yeah. So for the most part, I mean, ideas as well.
A lot of them, yeah. But I've started to like loosen my grip on a lot of it and have given a lot of delegate. And so Aiden Fawn is editor guy, and he is kind of in charge of the Valorant. And we have this guy named David Cho who's been in the Counter-Strike scene since I was in diapers, and he helps run the Valorant stuff as well. But yeah, for the most part, it's like we hop on a call. Like I'll hop on a call after this, and we'll go through what we're posting today for each community, and I'll kind of give my feedback on all of it.
Oh, you have that call in 6 minutes, right?
No, I have 36 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. Congrats, by the way, on getting engaged.
Dude, Keemstar commented.
Huh?
Keemstar commented on my engagement photo.
Really? What did he say?
I never met him. I didn't even know he followed me. He just said congrats, and I was like,
"Oh, that's cool."
I was like, "This is the best gift I could ever receive right here."
You're like, I don't want to. You're like, this is. This is the happiest day of my life.
Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh.
How does your fiance navigate around the fact that you're working all the time and making content? I assume you're.
It's hard on her, man.
Yeah.
It actually is. Like being real, like it's tough, and she puts up with a lot. And like, dude, like even today, she's a rock star, man. Like she was in here and she like cleaned up my whole office. I was like, can you wake me up at 6:30? And I was like, I have this podcast thing, and she was like, oh yeah, for sure. And then she like cleaned up my whole office and like made me breakfast and shit. So she's like a rock star, and she supports me. And dude, so when I first graduated college, I was in Chicago, and I did like stand-up comedy and improv, and she like would watch me like bomb at open mics, and like still go home and like tell people that like I was gonna make it one day. And so it was like just one of those moments where like if you can support someone, then like of course she's gonna like support me now that like she can kind of see the vision. But she's always been a huge supporter of mine and has always believed in me. But at the same time, that doesn't make it any easier when
100%.
I'm at the castle till 9 or 10 p.m. and she's like, all right, like, what about my dreams? What about my ambitions, my goals? You know, I want to be in a relationship where my
You can build something with
fiance,
you.
yeah, and my fiance is not, you know, hanging out, yelling, getting yelled at by teenage Fortnite kids, and can take me on a date every once in a while, you know.
Yeah.
So, but it's good. But yeah, it's a good question because it does definitely get tough sometimes, and sometimes, you know, people probably have the benefit of working with someone who or dating someone who is in content, and they can kind of understand that side of the world. But then I also think that type of relationship also has a lot of negatives to it as well.
Yeah. I prefer the
And
opposite. Yeah.
I think I do. Yeah, I really do too.
I'd most likely prefer what you have too.
Yeah.
As much as it is the content, dude, the relationship ends up public after.
Yeah, exactly. Bro, look, I have a friend that I'm not gonna say the name of, but he dated somebody in his scene, and they were both like pretty big streamers. And when they broke up, dude, it was real bad for like reasons I won't mention, but like he okay, so the reason that I really want a separation between relationship and work, like in this realm, is because when I get off of this, I don't want to go to more of it. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I like her not knowing anything about any of this because it's refreshing. You know, it's like I still have a normie in my life, kind of. And and yeah, I feel like, and the other thing is to what you said about like, you know, taking her out on a date, this and that. I think you could just get an assistant for that, no? Or
Yeah, exactly. When I was living with Mark and George, and Mark had a girlfriend at the time, Kylie lived with us as well. It was the same thing where it was like, dude, the house we lived in, it was like you live, work, and your friends or your coworkers, and it's like there's no clear line drawn between this is content and this is real life. And it starts to really weigh on a lot of people.
Yeah.
There's like no boundaries. It's not like you turn off the camera and then you're all chilling. It's like everyone's vlogging all the time. This is not our home. This is a set. And like these are all characters in the vlog, and we're go. And it was really tense. Like a lot of times more tense than it would be if we were probably just all friends living together.
I think, I mean, I guess I haven't lived through it to the point to get exhausted by it, but I don't mind. You know, and maybe it's just the personality I am or something, but like when there's a camera on me, I mean, I've been there, I've done the 15-hour streams and shit, you know, like I think that's why it's different, because I've been there where everything was always filmed, you know, I would stream 15 hours a day, etc. And like, I don't know, if somebody pulls up a camera and is filming, I'm ready.
Yeah.
You know, and even if I'm not ready, like it might end up being worse footage, but like I don't mind. But I guess if you're saying like 100% of the time, like, because like we went to, you know, let's say we went to Miami, there's a lot of stuff we didn't film because it's like you don't film here, you know, it's just it's unspoken, like everyone knows, you know.
And I'm not saying, I totally get what you're saying, and I'm not saying it's definitely like a dope lifestyle. I mean, there were times when I was in that house where I was like, yo, how do I keep this going? How do I just keep this lifestyle going? Because this is so sick. But there's like definitely a side to it. It's just there's pros and cons to every type of lifestyle, and some people like I don't know. If you get the chance to move in with fucking famous vloggers and blow up your career,
how did that happen?
Yeah, do it. You know what I mean? Not that happened to me. I did get to move into vloggers, but the opposite didn't happen. But Mark went to my high school.
Oh, okay.
And so when I was doing stand up and improv in Chicago, I wanted to be like a writer, like comedy writer, and I made this video, and it was about sports, actually, like Cleveland sports, and it ended up blowing up and going viral. And it was so funny because I think it ended up with like 40,000 YouTube views or something like that. But I like called my friend Mark, and I was like, hey bro, it happened. Like, you know, like I'm fucking famous now, and like my account's getting hacked, and like, you know, he like, meanwhile he pulls it up, it's like 40,000 views. He's like, okay bro, like sounds good. But so he went to my high school. He saw that I was like really grinding and trying to make video content, and he wanted to kind of like bring someone out and try to blow him up. And so he was like, do you want to do it? And I was like, yeah. And so ended up moving out there. And that was like, I think I had like 10,000 followers total on Instagram. And then I started doing the YouTube stuff. And I think the biggest thing I learned was like, I failed at that. And a lot of people would be like, no, you didn't fail. Like, you didn't fail. Like, you learned or you did this, whatever. And it's like, no, dude, like, I failed. And that's okay. Like, it's fucking okay to fail at stuff. Because as soon as I, like, was like, all right, like, I failed that. Like, you can fail stuff and not give up on your dreams. So I was like, all right, probably not going to be the biggest vlogger on the planet. But I'm pretty good at making this Fortnite content. And then so I just, like, leaned heavily into that, and then that's where things really started to take off for me.
How was that with two people who aren't gaming, who are vloggers, and they moved you out to vlog, and then now you're making Fortnite content? Did they understand, based off the views?
Yeah, it was like a weird time for all of them. They were all kind of going through a rut. And so like George wasn't even really filming that much back then. He kind of just got back to it with Bubba Town and some of his other stuff that he's doing.
On a timeline.
It was the first KSI Logan Paul fight. So what was that, 4 years ago? Yeah. Damn, I'm getting old.
Whoa.
Damn, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And what were you saying?
August 31st, 2018. Oh, it was 3 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they were like, I think they were trying hard to help me. And they really needed to like help themselves. And so when I kind of transitioned into being like, I'm just going to do gaming stuff, I think they were happy that I was able to find a foothold. And they were just like, they were super supportive. And they're like, yeah, dude, do you? And everyone was kind of just doing themselves at that point. And so they were really stoked for me. And there are times, and I think the coolest part about it all was that Mark and George would say things like, if people asked them, they'd be like, dude, Grady built his following all by himself. Like, because people would be like, wow, you really blew up Grady. And they would be like, no, like he did it on his own. Like he did this all on his own, man. And so it was probably like the best compliment that they could give me. And they were being super real about it. Because a lot of people would have been like, fuck yeah, I moved him out here and he blew up and this shit.
Here's the thing. Like, I mean, a lot of entertainment is about networking too, right? So it's like, you have a skill, and the reason he's flying you out is because he sees that. Yeah. It's not because you're this random person that went to high school with him. It's because, okay, you've proven that you're hardworking. You've proven that there's a talent there. Like, let's bring you out here to help, either teach you, whatever it is. Like Fuji, our homie, a lot of time, he's built this massive marketing company now. Massive. He's killing it. You said Keemstar responded to your stuff. He actually runs all of Keemstar stuff. All of his Snapchat.
So it's probably him, is what he's telling you.
And he like sometimes will be like, "Yo, you guys you guys are the reason." Whatever, he'll say that to us sometimes. We're like, "Dude, we didn't do shit." Dude, he came up to us and he wanted to give us fucking 10% each of his company.
Oh wow!
I'm like, no,
which I will accept when it's big enough.
He held it over. He cracks jokes to him all the time, but I'm like,
jokes.
we're like, no, like you built this. We're just a friend group. We're friends. We're homies, and we're all doing shit. But like, you built this. Like, we're all here to bounce off each other.
I think he really appreciates some of the nuggets of advice we gave him early on, and they maybe like kind of set him and like put him in the mindset of like to do what he did. You know what I'm saying? And to the point of your homie saying that about you, dude, they could have moved anyone out to that house, and that person could have sat on their fucking hands. You know what I'm saying? And it's like dude, sometimes we play with people, we like, try to put people on, and they're just not, they're lazy. They're not down. They don't take the opportunity.
It's happened multiple times.
Yeah. Like there's so many, dude, I have so many friends, bro, that I'm like, please, dude, like film, like, dude, you're so fucking funny, bro. Like, you'll blow up harder than any of us. And they just will not do it, bro. They will not do it. And it's sad to see such talent. I know a motherfucker that could go to any open mic night and fucking roll it, dude. Like, just kill it. We'll never do it. We'll never stream. We'll never make videos. We'll never do any of that. But he has the talent. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, to their credit, what they said about you makes sense, bro. You did it yourself. That's how it is.
Appreciate it, boys. I feel like I've been getting some some serious confidence built on this podcast today.
I've always liked you since our first interactions. Bro, we used to have actually, I made you because we used to have
I used to be your
but Grady was my manager and I was his manager, and that was in our bios for like a month. And then eventually we're like, all right, listen, we got to move on. We want that shit to do. Grady, what are your plans with NRG for like the next few years?
I'm gonna be real, dude. I'm pretty competitive as well, and like I want it to be the biggest org on the planet, and
Nice.
and we're making moves to do that. And from where we started, or like where I feel like I started with NRG to where we are now, like I'm like it's possible, bro.
Who do you feel are your main competitors? The ones that are gonna give you a challenge?
Yeah, shout them out.
I'll be real. Like and Sam, because I think a lot of people will like dodge around it and be, I don't know, whatever. But I mean, I think I've always looked at FaZe Clan, right? And so there's a month when FaZe Clan went like down in YouTube viewership and we were crushing it, and I was like fucking rise up NRG. I never thought the day would come, and I was like,
on the edge of the cliff, fucking Simba, dude.
Exactly, bro. I'm like just like looking at those Jarvis thumbnails, like fuck you, FaZe Clan. You know what I mean? No, not actually. I'm sure those guys are great, but I do get competitive, man, and it's good. It's like in the same way people get competitive when they game. Like this is a game to me as well, and so like I compete against these other players, and so FaZe Clan's one I've always looked to them to be like that's the top spot where I want to knock off. I'd love to knock them out of there. 100 Thieves is someone that I feel like we compete with for sure. In my head, that's kind of
so you're going for the lifestyle.
I'm not saying
because the reason you would put TSM, right? Because I would assume TSM as well, but they're not a lifestyle. They're not the cool people when it comes to normal life. You know, normies, mainstream, they know who FaZe is. They know who 100 Thieves is because, like, yo, I have 100, dude. My shorts are 100 Thieves. You know, like this is 100 Thieves. This is shit you can wear out. You can wear FaZe stuff out in public, and people won't be like, "Oh my God, you're wearing FaZe." Like, ew. But like you might wear TSM in public. They're like, "Are you a game? Like that's gaming?" Like, you know, like even though they're popping off.
For sure. I think that's a really good point. I'm glad you said that because I want to be more content than lifestyle, and I think we all want NRG to be more content than lifestyle. And so although like those are the people that I compete against, like in my head, that's like fun for me to have bulletin board material and do that. And obviously it was jokes when I said fuck you, Jarvis, or whatever. Like I don't want that to be beefing or whatever.
Sure it was. Jarvis, looks like you get another boxing match.
Yeah,
I will warn you, Jarvis, he walked out with Logan Paul on his first fight, so
He did.
I'm the man, dude. But I really think that like when I think of competitors, like I would love to start competing against someone like Mr. Beast's network. Like that's where I want to start looking at. Like Beast Reacts, Beast Gaming, Mr. Beast. I want to look at someone like Barstool, like Complex, Shade Room 45, you know, and like
conglomerate of just everything.
Of digital media conglomerates. Like I want to pop out views on views and like not just the once a week thing. Like
you got a machine running. You people that you delegated. You walk in, you go, all right, you got this done for today. Good. You don't even have to touch anything.
You want to know what I need? You want to know what I need? I need a content machine, baby.
Oh my God. FaZe has one.
Merch link in bio, right?
Damn, that was
in the shirt, right?
That was an odd foreshadowing.
I should have taken off my hoodie and then pointed to the.
You know, I was actually in talks with NRG, by the way. It wasn't with you. It was with Jamie.
Yeah.
It was 2 years ago.
What happened, bro?
Not something I'd want to say on the podcast. I'll tell you after.
You fell off
for Jamie's sake.
That's good. I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, not for your sake, for Jamie's sake. Grady, we have a question that we ask our guests, by the way, at the end of every podcast. I don't know if you made it to the end of every podcast.
Everyone, so I'm ready for this one.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be. You tell us. You know, your high executive position, so I don't know if it'll matter, but you let us know if maybe you don't want to answer. Everybody answers it.
Okay.
Everybody answers it.
Okay.
By the way. Mama Benji, who watches our podcasts. Okay, first of all, why don't you have Mama Benji on NRG? What's there?
Good question. Wait, yeah,
well, hey, you never know what could happen. So.
Hey. Okay.
But she was in a video recently.
Yeah, she's in the videos, but like, yeah, whatever. Anyways,
I need her on the comp roster. All right, the comp
exactly.
roster.
Anyways,
is this a brand risk exclusive?
Well,
breaking news right here.
Oh, true. Who knows? She might be signed before this comes out. So, fuck. What was I gonna say? Okay, so we asked this to everybody. This is the brand risk question. And I wasn't gonna ask it to Mama Benji just because she's a little bit older, and out of respect, I felt weird asking. And because she watches our podcast avidly, she stopped me and said, "No, I want you to ask me it." So we ended up asking her it. Like,
okay,
it's a good question. Anyways, who's like the hottest woman you know? You're gonna say you could say your fiance if you want, but I'm thinking like celebrity crush. Like, who's a celebrity crush that like
you know in person?
No. Just like. That you like since you were young, you were always like that celebrity's hot.
Oh, okay, yeah. Besides my fiance, she's smoke show by the way. But hottest guy I've seen.
Who?
So we'll dip into the nines category, right?
Yeah,
or eights.
yeah. Go eights.
Because
wait, are you marrying a 10?
Yeah, 100%.
Without personality.
What kind of question is no full package?
No,
perfect and everything.
Okay.
Just get me out of this.
Listen, Grady, bro.
Get me out of this.
Hey, Grady, I got a rule, bro. I got a rule. And I'm not getting married to a 10, bro. I'm getting married to an 8.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The personality adds to the package, but whew, you get married to a 10, she's cheating on you. That's just how.
I guess.
That's how the 10s
I got lucky.
That's why he's hiring an assistant for that.
You got lucky. She hasn't cheated on you yet. Yeah.
Who would be like my dude, I really don't
like Jennifer Lopez.
No.
There's no way he's picking J-Lo. Come on.
I don't know. I feel like he's a little bit older.
Margot Robbie, like
he's not gonna pick Margot Robbie.
Why? She's hot, and she's not 62 like the one you picked.
See,
okay,
there it is. It's her. That's the one.
I don't think you guys are gonna know this.
Hit us with it.
It's Sloane from Entourage. She is.
Oh, she's hot. She's fine.
You have to watch Entourage to like understand the whole package. But
yeah, like with personality and shit. Yeah. No, she's fine.
Growing up, it was like Sloane from Entourage was like the girl.
I think she's hot. What about like a dude? Like a good looking dude.
Yeah. I'll give you like a real answer.
Yeah.
I expected that.
Yeah, like whenever we go with like Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, one of those Chris's.
Hugh Jackman.
I'm a big Hugh Jackman guy. Off.
I think I would love to trade looks with someone like someone who's like
Efron.
Yeah, dude, that guy's hot.
All right, Zac Efron.
I took this girl to see a movie in middle school, and
it was High School Musical. With the TV.
No, but it was in high school. It was just as violating. Zac Efron lifted his arms up like this because he had the basketball, and she turned to me and she goes, "I think armpit hair is so hot," and I'm 12 years old with no armpit hair.
That's hilarious.
Violating of my.
You're like this. You're sitting like this.
I'm just like staring at. Yeah, I'm literally just like staring at Zac Efron's armpit hair. Just like, wow, what a man. What a man. I'll never be this.
Nice. I'm gonna start styling my armpit hair.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm a corner of that shit.
So Sloan from Entourage or Zac Efron. Technology is like booming, right? Advancements going crazy.
So I love this transition.
Yeah, it's like
taken.
health is getting crazy. The doctors, surgeons, etc. are insane. You ever heard of like Nikita Dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like what is she?
Born a dude, transitioned to female.
Oh no.
She's
hot. I've seen her on Twitter.
She's hot.
Oh, it's just a Snapchat show, I think.
And you watch
because
it.
I've seen a billboard and there's a billboard on Sunset that's like Nikita Dragon Snapchat.
Yeah, that would make sense. Well, anyways, you can't really tell the difference anymore. So like one day the surgeries are gonna get so good, you can't tell the difference. So like, Edwin was born how he is, and now he's transitioning to a female. He's looking like Sloan from Entourage. Everything about him is Sloan from Entourage. He's got the boobs, the personality, the face. He's undergone everything, but he still has his penis.
Okay.
And Zac Efron, same thing. Born a woman. Transition, etc. Everything about him's the same. He's gone the testosterone surgery. He's got the nice pecs. He's got Zac Efron's abs. The voice. He can sing a beautiful High School Musical melody for you. But he's got a vagina, Grady. You have to go down on one.
Oh, you asked this to Mama Benji Fishy?
She wanted us to ask her.
No.
I said no.
Dude, not only that, but she had the answer hot and ready like a Little Caesars pizza, bro.
Hot and ready, bro. I said I couldn't ask the
God, it's at the end of the episode.
Dude, I couldn't ask her the question because I felt weird, so I said, you already know the question. If anybody listening wants to know what it is, go click a different episode, but I can't ask her. And I didn't ask her, but she answered it.
I'd probably go with Efron because
really?
Overall, I'm probably just more I think Sloan was a weak answer for me.
Okay, that's fair.
I think Efron is probably a stronger
I'll give you that
answer.
I'll give you that.
I'll go with Efron.
I'll tell you, the majority picks the woman with the penis.
Yeah, but I will say, for the reason that you picked Zac Efron, that fair.
Yeah, the armpit hair, I agree. The armpit hair does something.
And then also like, if I am on a golf trip with my friends and we're all around the bonfire and they're like,
and there's no females around, yeah,
and they're like, who's the craziest person you ever hooked up with? And I could be like Sloan from Entourage, and like people would be like, oh yeah, I think I remember her. But if I was like, bro,
Zac Efron. You'll be sitting outside of Helix Esports doing this.
Dude, imagine they're like, who's the craziest person you've ever hooked up with? And you're like, you'll never believe this. You're like, it's Zac Efron. And everyone's like, what the fuck? And they're like, and then you're like, and also, he's a woman. And they're like, dog, what? What did you just say to me? You know what I'm saying? So you're right, actually. Damn, I will say this is the first time that choice has made more sense than the other one. Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm a trendsetter, man.
Oh, trendsetter. Grady, what are your socials? Where can people find you? Tell them what are your plans for the next few months for them to keep an eye out.
Yeah, so I'm Grady Rains on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch. I don't think I've streamed on Twitch in a long time.
That's in the description, so you guys can go click it if you don't want to type it. You've seen them around.
Yeah, you'll see me on like the NRG channels. Follow the NRG Twitter account, and just like be nice in the comments, like we talked about. It's super helpful. Show some love, and yeah, I'll be bouncing around those videos. Tons of NRG content to come. Tons of Castle content coming out, so get excited for that. And if you like me at all, I'm sure you'll like a bunch of other people in NRG. So
I'm good, bro. Thank you guys for making it to the end. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to check out all the Brand Risk socials. We have other channels as well, vlog channel, highlights channel of the podcast. We'll see you guys later. Podcast every Monday and Thursday at 3 p.m. Peace.